Hmm. Okay. Cool. So, just a minute, yeah. So, a lot of times you might have seen great ads. You might have seen great billboards, and you must have got across reels which have caught your attention, which grabbed you, which hooked you, and which made you watch it till the end and also do something. By do something, I mean to either share it, like it, follow it. You are triggered by what you saw and by the action they asked you to do. Copywriting is that part. Up till this point, you've understood about blogs, you've understood about articles, case studies, white papers, and different styles of writing which needed SEO. SEO, search engine optimization, played a great role in making your content more visible to the kind of audience you are writing for. But copywriting is different. In copywriting, you don't have any search engine optimization. You only work with human psychology and you optimize the human behavior and present it for the best of your brand and yourself. And let me share my screen so we can get into the basics of content writing and establish a framework for what copywriting is. So in all of the sessions ahead in this particular live, I have written content writing and copywriting. And with content writing, I have addressed articles, blogs, white papers, and case studies. Whereas copywriting is a different entity in this particular session. Otherwise, big umbrella of content writing has all of these things under it. So the first thing is there are three major differences as per our course if we see. First is you make blogs, you write articles, you draw loyalty, you build information driven content for your audience. Whereas in copywriting, you don't build the information kind of stuff. You use every bit of your knowledge, of your research, and of the facts and informations to persuade the mind of your audience. While content writing in blogs and articles, you will present it, present the content, present the informations and facts to the people, and it will just be an information to them. Whereas in copywriting, you will use that information, you will use that fact to make a room in the mind of your target audience. And that's why it's little different from the other forms of copywriting or content writing. Now, by writing a copy, we sell. So we have made a room in the mind of our target audience, but what are we going to make in that room? How are we going to design it? We need to sell. We need to ask them to do something. And that's how the second step, second layer of copywriting unfolds. While in this step where information is well presented to the audience, builds loyalty. But copywriting sells you. Sells you an idea, an action, an impulse. But third point is the major difference. It's the tipping off point. In content writing, you will need SEO to reach out to your target audience. But when you have understood your target audience, you saw how do they respond, react, and communicate to different kind of content in the same brand's category that you are in, you will have an understanding that okay, this is how this thing works. But in copywriting, you have made a room, you have given them an action, and then what you are doing is making them fill a form, making them shoot you a DM, making you follow. So we drive people through a course that they don't understand. It's like a three-course meal. You have starters where you're persuading them, then the main course where you present your company, your brand, and the third thing is dessert, where they feel very delighted and elevated with the kind of experience they've had, and with the desserts, they are just feeling wow. But for you, it's the same feeling as well because they are giving you the interest in your space. They are giving you a permission to reach out to them. They are letting you know that I am the kind of audience you're looking for. I will spend time, money, energy for the kind of service that you're giving, for the kind of product you're giving. That's how you move down into copywriting. For that, you need to do few things. First thing, you must convey a personalized tone. Now, by personalized tone, I mean imagine when you talk to your friend, you talk in a certain way, and it's not the same way that you talk to your friend and to your best friend. They are different. So, when there's a difference between your best friend and your friend in just a conversation, you understand when a brand is targeting how content strategists and copywriters would come across and tell you to know that this brand that they are engaging with is for them. This kind of content is for them. And that only happens when the tone is personalized. If I talk generally, then it's okay. When it's talking to me, when it's talking to my behavior, then it's something. I've been talking about Zomato throughout. Why? Because they are great, genius at what they're doing. They talk to Gen Z people in a very Gen Z-ish way only. Did you know that if you ate this, you are called Shahi Tukda? They they relate your behavior to a dish, and constantly you are connected since they have made space with addressing a human behavior which is personalized to me and a lot of people like me. Second, they gave me a dish to connect to it. They made it personalized for me that this kind of my behavior is connected to this kind of dish. And so, whenever I will think of it, of that particular behavior or that dish, if I think about that dish, I will think about my behavior. And if I am behaving like that, I will think about that dish. What lingered in between is the brand. Where did I see? And that's what is called advertisements as well. That's a part of advertisements as well. So the billboards, the TV ads, the commercials on YouTube that we see, these are all advertisements. And copywriting is intended to advertise. Since you are trying to sell directly, it's just about advertising. Because marketing, advertising go hand in hand with sales. So you need to also understand, what would be the tipping point. When I'm intending to advertise my particular product in Diwali festival, what kind of human behaviors are there? One thing can be that Our every family is cleaning their homes, and their homes are upside down. Huh? You will find a lot of missing things, which at one point you might have thought to print a poster and throughout stick it throughout your society. And that human behavior that just I talked about, that I just addressed, a missing thing which was found after 10, 11 months, is a human behavior, is an insight. And on that, maybe Urban Clap can come in and say, oh, wait, you don't have to uh, go around and wait for 11 months to find out that your crazy ball was crazily misplaced and was hiding under the bed. Call Urban Clap and let us handle it in every once in a while. Or if specifically talking about the festive season, why do you get your uh, skin go through a lot of dust, dirt, and stress of cleaning the house? Call, just clap and call us. That is an advertisement. And what I just said, we took an insight of cleaning the house and we thought of three different ideas, right? That is called a campaign. A campaign specifically addresses to a particular either feature, benefit, or a human behavior on a particular occasion. And you run campaign on different kind of ideas and you advertise throughout. So advertisements also comes in two ways. One is just for brand awareness and engagement. That is one kind of ad. The second is where you sell. And the selling part is everywhere attached. The selling part lingers onto every ad. It's just what do you promote more? And for that, you need to, it's essential, it's must. And without that, your copy is malnutrition copy. If you don't have an attention grabbing line, you cannot, if you cannot capture the audience attention, your copy is considered as a malnutrition copy. And for that, to capture audience attention, it doesn't mean, it never means, never ever in life, to make false claims. Unless that's a campaign where everything is planned. And for that, a big team is required. But in that also, they don't make false claims. They make false situations. They make pseudo mishaps. So don't make false claims early in your journey, because that will be good attention grabbing thing, but look at it as brand's perspective, that you're playing on the edge, and there will be a lot of justification from brands and to give out to the audience if and when they ask it, because we all as audience are very educated now, and we know how to search. We go and just voice search everything. Even a 2-year-old kid can do it right now. So we need to be very attentive about what we are presenting and the credibility of it as well. These are two examples. See, one is of Instagram, sort of social media post where the hook is bad days happen. This is a human behavior. This is an idea. At least your stuff will be dry. Personalizing the ad by saying bad days happen, yeah, come on. But at least your stuff will be dry. They're not saying that our bag will keep your stuff dry, this or that. They're just saying bad days happen. There can be very, uh, there can be sun shining bright outside, but as soon as you step out, rain starts pouring like cats and dogs. That can be a bad day. Bad day can be just having scolded by the teacher when you actually had your homework done and you actually forgot the copy this time at home, and not just gave an excuse to it. But at least the stuff will be dry, subtly promoting what the idea of the brand is. The second is a paper ad. So a print ad also comes into copywriting. Wherever there is ad, there is copywriting. In this ad, Volkswagen, you can search it up on Google as well, read it up in a better way. Volkswagen prints this ad and they print a very small car on three-fourth of the paper, three-fourth of that size of ad that they gave. And in the small area, they've written think small, a big heading. Where in the world everybody says big, go home, go hard, or go home. They wrote think small. And they write our little flair isn't so much of a novelty anymore. A couple of dozen college kids don't try to squeeze into it. The guy at the gas station doesn't ask where the gas goes. Nobody stares at our little shoppy. In fact, some people who drive it don't think our flair gives better, like 32 miles to the gallon is going any great guns, or using 5 pence of oil instead of five quarters, or never needing antifreeze. Great fumbles happen at the tipping point every time, or rocking up to 40,000 miles on a set of tire. They address the whole situation being very personalized, huh? They're being possessive, huh? Possessive about, like, we get possessive about our best friend, our sibling, a crush, our parents. They are getting possessive. They're saying our car isn't so much of a novelty anymore, and they all go on and specify the features of the car as benefit that it had at one point, and then they also give answer to it as well. That's because once you get used to our economies, you just a minute, there's a lot of noise. Once you get used to our economy, some of our economies, you don't even think about them anymore, except when you try to squeeze into a small parking spot, or renew a small insurance bill, or pay a small repair bill, or trade in your old Volkswagen for a new one. Think it over. This is an advertisement, a very clever, good advertisement, I would say. They did not impose you to buy it, but they gave you a human behavioral aspect of this car by showing how spacious it is. That at one point, couple of dozen college kids used to squeeze into this car. That it gives 32 miles to a gallon of average. That its tires work up to 40,000 miles. That it pays small insurance bill. And the other features written and showed as specifications. Anything up to this point, Sharvi or Elena? Okay, Elena, this fine with you as well?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Perfect. How have you been? You were there in the last session as well.
Yes, I was there.
Oh, great. How you been?
I've been good, thank you.
Perfect. I forgot where you from, Elena.
Kolkata.
Oh, nice. Yes. Great, great. They say, have you tried that Doodh Cola by any chance, anytime? I've heard about it.
The what?
Doodh Cola.
Doodh cola.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's like a pretty common breakfast item here. So,
Oh, really?
yeah.
You mix Coca Cola and milk every other day?
Oh, no, no, sorry. Uh, sorry. I thought you were talking about something else. Sorry. Actually, you said, I heard kola, and like kola means banana in like Bengali.
Oh,
So I thought, sorry. No,
no.
like doodh cola is something which, yeah, it's come up recently, but not everyone likes it. It's still pretty novel here.
Have you tried it?
I have, um,
What's your
but
opinion?
I it's good. Like a few sips in, you don't really like it anymore because it gets a bit overwhelming actually. But those who like it.
Oh, really? Nice. They give you a big lassi type of glass, no?
Yeah, it's. I mean, the size is also a factor. Like, it's like pretty huge. So
You are half threatened by the size of the glass.
yeah.
Nice. Cool. So we move on to understand these four factors that comes into as fundamentals for effective copywriting. We, as a writer and especially as a copywriter, need to learn, understand, and practice to put in efforts to convey benefits to your audience. These has this particular point has two bifurcations, if I would say. First is you putting up efforts. For that, that means you need to research. You need to research extensively. You need to go read the captions of your brands, relative brands, competitor brands. You need to go and see the comments that people are doing, commenting on that particular post. You need to see how frequently they are doing, what they are talking, how they are involving the audience of their category, how are they actually expanding their audience as well. You need to actually put in effort. You need to go read, understand, and ask a lot of questions from the brand as well, to the brand, not to the people who use it, but to the founders, to the employees, to the managers. You need to ask a lot of questions. And the second thing in this particular point is benefits. So you don't sell features anymore to people, you sell benefits to them. Like Volkswagen said, that our car can drive up to 40,000 miles on a set of tires. They could have easily written one set of tire works up to 40,000 miles. That's a feature. But when they represented it in a way that 40,000 miles of tire, up to 40,000 miles of tire, you don't have to look at the tires. That's a benefit for them. Second is you write compelling headline, you write crisp headline. You need to understand compelling and crisp. They go together because it needs to be compelling. It needs to be teasing. It needs to be uh, provoking, and also crisp, where it leaves people hanging, where it leaves people intrigued. And then you write what people want to read and not you as a writer want to write. Your mission is to write something which people want to read, right? And what people want to read, you will get to know when you put in efforts to convey the benefits. And then you bound the readers by their choice. Do they want to listen a reverse psychological point, or are they very happy? Usually in storytelling, what happens is people connect, share, and relate more to the negative emotions. By negative emotions, I mean failures, setbacks. They connect more to those kind of feelings. So you need to understand, is your target audience a kind of people who relate more to this negative set of thoughts, where setbacks and failures are something which they are constantly worried about, or do they work with FOMO? So you need to understand and write what they would read. Also, you need to focus and heavily focus on reversing. It's not a word, but I'm using it. The risk that might be containing, that your copy might be containing. So you need to see, is there something that might offend people in political, religious, or emotional way, because a brand doesn't want to do that. A brand will heavily suffer on their share prices, on their sales, and other activities, on the brand reputation altogether. So focus on risk reversal while you create a copy. These are like four pillars which I would give to you in our copywriting session and as the last slide of my session for tonight.
That's good. That doesn't mean that we should make false claims that we can solve this
Sorry?
problem. It doesn't mean that we can make false claims that we can solve this problem if we can't do it.
I could not get you, Shavi, completely. Can you type it down in the chat box, please?
Sure, sure.
So this is my last live session with you guys. I think you might have other as well. So while Sharvi is typing, I would also take your time and we will go through this portfolio slide as well so that you get an understanding of how to make your portfolio. So these five things we will be covering: what is a portfolio, how to make a portfolio, adding your work samples, and what you should include in your portfolio. So in short, portfolio is a comprehensive collection of work that showcases an individual's or a company's skill, experience, and accomplishments in various aspects of digital marketing. Okay, you've typed it down. That is what you need to actually stay away from if you don't have a way. Also, if that's not a company benefit or companies ask, or they don't, if a company is not providing a service, don't say they are providing a service. American Express, read this case study on American Express. American Express got very famous among the audience when a person who was traveling to some other country faced some issues. He lost his passport, I guess, or his luggage, but he had American Express card. He went to American Express and he said, can you guys help me with this thing? I am in another country. I've lost my bag. I've lost my passport. American Express got that person out of whatever situation he or she was. Read this complete case study or see the video as well. And that's how American Express got the hype. This is not a service that they sell, and this is not something they actively promote, but they have this underlying why to solve in the target audience, which is why to choose American Express. We give every other benefit that you get, but you also get a committed staff that you work for, that is working for you. So don't make claims which a company is not selling. Let the company first try, give the idea, ask them if you can do this thing or not, but then ask them first, because that might be a setback for the company in the image of people, in the eyes of people, basically. So it's a descriptive portfolio, is a descriptive document where you're talking about yourself, about your skills, and about the work that you've um, done up till this point, or you're going to do. We'll talk about that as well. If you have not made any progress in like work piece or everything, how do you go about your portfolio? How to make a portfolio? There are great websites, like one of them is Canva, where you can type portfolio and understand which is your category and which suits you. How do you add work samples? So if you have not have anything that to represent, then you do these two things. You pitch your relatives or you pitch the local businesses in your area, shopkeepers, small, let's say this is Navratri season. There might be a lot of small garba vendors. You can pitch your services to them. Go and ask them, do they want help in writing a blog, writing a poster, having great copywriting, content writing, and you start pitching them. You start asking nearby cafes as well if they have something that to work on. You can ask your friends who might be doing photography for different spaces and different places to recommend you or have you in their team, and once in a while give you something to write. Or another point can be you start your own Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn page where you start sharing content. But in both of these things, you will need to have a consistency. You will need to have an understanding that you're going into a long term game. But you also need to show off. You cannot be someone who is very, and selling a lot of great ideas to them. You need to be more, and more than your features, you need to show that, when you will write, what all things you will bring to the table for them. In that way, also making a false claims by saying that, if I write, you will get 100 people buying your stuff, would be very harmful to you. But if you say, I will write something that your audience will relate to, and then it's your wish, will, and your strategy to get them to buy your stuff. That's a better way of presenting your feature as benefit to them and asking them their business. See, the third thing is you write sample ads. In the professional world of copywriting, content writing, it's called making spec ads. SPECAD. So it's a spec of a brand that you write about and you advertise about, and that's free of cost. You are doing that just for the sake of your portfolio, your visibility, and your work sample. The other is, you can give and write engaging captions to different Instagram posts as well of your friends and yourself. Or if you start a random page, you can write content for that as well. These are a few things that you need to include in your portfolio. You can take a screenshot of this: about me section, my service section, then testimonials, feedbacks if you have. Then you add your work samples that we were just talking about. If you have done anything that is on any social platform, take a screenshot of it, upload it. The samples that you've written, the blogs that you've written, everything, and also additional skills that you bring to the table for them. After you've made your pitch, back yourself up with the certificate of UA and end it with a contact me page where you add your DT contact details, your email address, and if you're comfortable, you can share your phone number as well. So these three uh, portfolios I'm going to share with you. This is Sneha's portfolio. She is into social media marketing and consulting the content creators. See, she has directly sold. She is talking not just about the benefit or not about the feature, but the benefit. Struggling to increase your presence on social media? Get in touch with me. It's a benefit. It's not a feature. It's a benefit for them. It's a question for them. And then she starts introducing herself. Now, when you're introducing yourself, make sure you don't bore people away. You make it crisp, compelling, and also uh, add a few points where you give them an understanding that this is a benefit of having me as your content writer. And then you show your work samples. You see how she has uh, addressed the blog, and this thing where she has written, and the feedback she has got. See, she has actually backed up in the fourth slide only, and then she has added her experience further. And then what is what is that she can be hired for, or what is that people can get from Sneha in professional terms as a services. These are the few things that she's mentioned. And this is contact page where she wrote her email and her social addresses. This is another. She's directly started with about me section. She's made a very beautiful design for her skills, as she is more into social media and content creation. So these are all templates you can get on Canva, and you can start making a journey. Make that particular template that you're choosing yours. Add your touch to it. Like this, she has added her touch, her style, her arrangement to the particular uh, template that was there on Canva. This is another portfolio of Ayushi. This gives you an idea, right, of how to make your portfolio. You have, is it a little clear to you?
Yes, sir.
You have
So,
any questions, Sharvi or Elena?
no.
No.
Oh wow! Then I should pat myself. I've done a good job, and you've been great mentees. You've got my language and understood my approach towards content writing. So you can reach out to me anytime that you want on either Instagram, Unusual Harsh. Drop me a DM as well, so I will know that you are here from UA's session. And then we'll connect over. Or you can drop me a mail as well, harsharora148@gmail.com. And if there's a party, you better invite me as well. With that said, guys, all the best. Stay in touch. And if there's anything that you want, you can reach out to me, guys. It's not just about copywriting, content writing. If you have something that you want to share, also, you want someone, you want to talk to someone, we can schedule a call for that as well. So, all the best. Have great week ahead, and keep writing. Because at one point, I don't want you to think that, oh, I did a course, but I did not practice it. Bye bye. Good night. Now, should I say sweet dreams or not? I don't know.